gentlemen, club members, welcome back. It's so nice to be with you on another episode. I'm here with my co-host, Kiri.
Hello.
Oh, Kiri, what have you got?
I've got this little guy. He's the latest member to our family. His name is Tango. He's fast asleep on my arms. He's a beautiful little Boston Terrier. And he's just joining us on this episode because, you know.
He's our new warehouse dog.
That's right.
He's a new warehouse dog.
Gonna
He's
hang
doing
out.
less work than the rest of us. Ladies and gents, welcome back. So we're going to take a bit of a journey into Champagne today, and we're talking about Chardonnay. Chardonnay is one of the more popular grape varietals that's grown in the region, and we've spoken about it on previous episodes, but we're going to dive a little bit deeper in this episode. We're going to talk about its origin, and we're going to talk about its qualities and how they differ based on where it comes from.
Correct. So we're going to delve in a little bit into the soil of the two champagnes, and we're going to look at chalk versus limestone.
Now, Chardonnay is known as a chameleon. It's very, very sensitive to where it's grown. It really does take on the terroir of what it's planted within. So if it's grown in Victoria, if it's grown in WA, if it's grown in Champagne, and even within Champagne, Kiri, you know, we've got 34,000 hectares, but we've got 100 kilometres from top to bottom. So you've got some variation in climate.
And style and
sub-terroir.
fruits and everything. Yep.
So we are looking at two fantastic Chardonnays. The grape originally being brought into the region, and I love this story. It's actually centered around the story of the Comte de Champagne, which is produced by
the Count of Champagne for us English folk.
Yes. So one of the Counts of Champagne, so Theobald IX, went off on a crusade. He was known as a romantic, he was a lover, and he brought back two gifts for one of his lovers. One, the damask rose, the second being the ancestor of Chardonnay, and planted it in the Champagne region, and we're going to explore those details of Chardonnay today.
Beautiful. Okay, so the first house we're looking at, and this is destined to all of the club lovers out there, is the house of Franck Bonville, based in the Grand Cru region of Avize.
They've got some nice plots.
They've got 77 to be precise,
20 hectares?
across 20 hectares that have all been managed sustainably and been doing really, really well. It's third generation grower at the moment is Olivier, following on from his parents, been doing a fabulous job of maintaining Ingrid and Gilles.
Yeah.
And their whole style is about preserving freshness, preserving that beautiful, pristine, crystal style of Chardonnay coming from Avize. And we love seeing those kinds of wines. So
long, slow, cool fermentation to really capture the essence
long
of
aging,
such great fruit.
4 to 5 years on lees, just as standard, just to give that wine some depth and balance as well, to balance out that freshness. So really gorgeous style of production from this house. Okay, so delving straight into this wine, Carla, what are some of the flavors and styles you're getting from this?
Well, it's interesting. So we've got two wines for our connoisseurs, one wine for our lover. I was putting my nose in both. When you put your nose in the Prestige, the Blanc Prestige from Franck Bonville, it's all about chalky saline minerality. It's actually a little bit subdued on the nose. I was sort of thinking to myself, maybe I would decant this champagne, but when you put it on the palate, you've got everything you expect of a Grand Cru Chardonnay. This tension, beautifully poised minerality, amazing length.
Yep.
You know, very much this salty, saline, citrus freshness.
Yeah, for me, it had exactly what Carla's saying. Add to that some grapefruit, you know, some of that lovely sort of almost bitter citrus, which I really enjoy. A little bit of that lemon rind as well. But one thing that I loved more about this than anything is it did take some time to open up. Oh, you're waking up. Hello there, buddy.
Wine's waking up, the dog's waking up.
And what you had with some time in the glass and opening up is you had this complexity starting to evolve and unwind, and that's what you need in this sort of wine. So spend some time with it, don't rush into it. And I really love the base is 2014,
Yep.
and the reserves are coming from 2013. So
Yep.
really good, both of them really good years.
5 years in the cellar.
5 years in the
allowing it time
cellars.
to kind of ease out. So you've got fruit coming from Avize in the most part.
It's all Avize, 100%. Yeah.
So the sub-terroir here is chalk.
Chalk,
Kiri.
yeah.
And, you know, tell me more about the chalk in this
Okay,
one.
so chalk is the main part of what Champagne is known for in Côte de Blanc. It is actually part of the limestone family. The next one we're going to look at with the Brun de Neuville is actually based on limestone. So we're going to get into that a little bit more. Chalk is incredibly condensed fossils from millions and millions of years ago. And what you do get is an amazing potential to hold water, which is its main property, and provide that brilliant minerality to the wines.
Yeah. All right, connoisseurs, you get 2 fantastic champagnes in your pack. This month is no exception. Of course, you get the Franck Bonville Prestige, but we have another amazing producer, a house we're really fond of. It is the house of Le Brun de Neuville. Now, the first producer was up in the north of Champagne in Avize. We now have a producer located down in the south. And we've got about 45 kilometers between top to bottom of these 2 producers.
Yeah, Côte de Cézanne really sort of loops in at the end of Côte de Blanc, so it sort of begins another little pocket, another little zone. We've spoken about it before. It's a really interesting area to uncover.
It's a great area for Chardonnay. Now, you've got to remember they're the opposite hemispheres for us. So the further south you go, the warmer we are in climate, and we've got a slightly different subterranean, a slightly different composition of the soil. Now, a little bit warmer, you're going to get more tropical fruit, you're going to get more breadth. Down in this area, we've got a different soil type.
Yep.
Let's come back to the wine in a minute. The house have been around for a long time. We really like the producer, the winemaker.
Gilles Balthazar.
Gilles Balthazar,
Since
been there quite a while.
1986, and he's been doing some fabulous things with the wines. One of the most notable things is he just changes as the terms change, as
the weather changes.
He
reads the
makes the
wine, doesn't he?
wines just as they happen. So
Yeah, so sometimes he'll use malolactic fermentation, sometimes he won't. Sometimes he'll age in a tank or ferment in a tank, or sometimes he'll age in a barrel. You know, he really does listen to the fruit and listen to the wine and respond accordingly, and I think that is amazing. They make about 500,000 bottles a year.
that's it. Yeah.
So pretty small.
And they sell off the rest of their fruit. So yeah, I think it's a
Super
great
house.
production.
Super house. Again, focused on Chardonnay. Okay, connoisseurs, you have the amazing vintage 2008 coming your way from this maison. 2008 was a much lauded year. You had the perfect balance between really tight acidity that gives you aging potential, but enough ripeness and sugar in the fruit.
Yep.
So this has got still oodles of potential. I would still continue to put this wine down. It was a baby, wasn't it?
I think you're right. And look, we're following on from last month's 2008 Beauty as well from Deveau. So you guys are very fortunate to
Very
getting some
lucky.
great vintages coming your way. One of the key differences when we're looking at this wine compared to the Franck Bonville is the difference in freshness, okay? So whilst they're both still fresh, there's a richness and volume in this wine, which is Le Brun, compared to that racy, linear, beautiful mineral line in the Franck
not that we
Bonville.
advocate drinking 2 bottles back to back, but I think that you should look at the textural and palate differences of the 2 wines. The linearity and minerality of the Avize cuvee, and then the roundness and almost a tropical textural character
Yep.
that's present on the Chardonnay that's grown from the south of Champagne, which is a few degrees warmer, but of course the subsoil is more limestone.
Yeah.
What's the difference, Kiri?
The difference is essentially chalk is 99% calcite for you nerds, and the limestone is a combination of both calcite and aragonite. And what that means is it's a little bit more alkaline in its soil type. So what you're going to get an overall different expression from both of those soils. Limestone goes all the way down into the very southern tip of Champagne in the Côte de Bar. We're not as far as that.
And then you get
and
into
then into
Carib-
Chablis
Caribbean
and things
clay.
like that.
Yeah.
So, you know, they're really really does have an impact on the style that you taste, and we can see it. You'll see the wines when they come out to you.
And even the dimension on the palate. So you may not be aware of this, but the winemaker is not just looking for aroma and taste. He's looking for, she is looking for dimension on the palate. And in the first wine, you've got more direct linearity, and in the second wine, you've got more roundness and more suppleness. It's
Volume,
slightly shorter in the
and
length.
it's wider.
It's wider and it's
Yeah.
more voluptuous.
Yeah.
Chardonnay is fascinating in this way. It can really present itself in a different format depending on the region, the temperature, and the subsoil of where it's grown.
Exactly.
So ladies and gentlemen, this month we're looking at the Chardonnay grape. It is a green skin grape. It's grown all over the world. It does really well in cool climate regions. Believed that its origins are in the Burgundy region, which is the neighbor to Champagne in terms of wine growing regions. First came into the region by Count Theobald the Lover, and what a great addition to the region it's been.
It has, and it's, look, from Beechworth to Bone, as I like to give reference, it has so many variations, so many shades. So we're really looking forward to getting these wines out to you this month. We'd love your feedback, your thoughts. If you're cooking at home, whatever you might be doing, pop it up on the Facebook page that we've created for you. The community is there.
Community page.
Throw it up on Instagram, whatever you like to do. Tag us in. It's always good to see, what your thoughts are and what you're eating it with as well.
And it's very nice for you to explore the many facets of Champagne. Thank you for joining us for another month. We can't wait to see you again next month when we bring more amazing Champagne to your door.
Super exciting month next month. I have a very special surprise.
See you next time.
See ya.
We're going to do this one more time.
One more time.
Now, for our connoisseurs.
Slightly fantastic there, darling. Just a little bit overture.
OTT, you know me, OTT.
It's so not the song. It's OPP. You down with OPP? Yeah, you know me.
I don't know my rap. Anyway, okay, let's just get into the one.
Clearly, darling, clearly.
Lack of sleep.
Yeah.
We really
Wiggity,
like it.
Fuck a duck.
Okay.
Quack. And where we like it. Quack.
It's not a blooper. It's the real deal.
It's a blipper. It's a short fuck up.
All right, 3, 2, 1, and go.